Save the Victor Rule. How's everybody doing today? Amazing, I hope. It's another video from your older than average YouTuber here on the YouTubes. And this week is another week of navigating new releases on a no-buy and spackling our face. So if that's what you're into, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. So there's not a lot of new releases today. And it's just kind of a mixed bag of things. So I thought, again, we can play with some makeup while we talk about it. I'm going to play with the Dirty Martini palette. This is from Glamlite. This is the color story here, and you can, of course, tell why I like it. It is green. So I thought we'd play with that as we play with some new releases. And I thought I would also have some fun and use a bit of colored primer as well. So yeah, so you will have noticed that last week there were no new releases, and like I said, this week is a mixed bag and kind of slim. I think one of the items may also already be out. Yay. I'm kind of really glad things have slowed down a lot, that Christmas releases aren't as exciting as Halloween was, not as exciting as how Black Friday was to affect my purchasing. Yeah, it's a funny thing going into looking at new releases and trying to be on a new buy. The FOMO is real, but also you just have to, you know, kind of noticing triggers. And like I said, Halloween and Black Friday seem to be big ones for me. So there we go. So for new releases, the first thing that I have here, so this is a brand, I have their very first palette they released. And then I know some people had, especially a bigger influencer, had kind of comments on their formula, and I think they rejiggied their formula some, but again, I liked their very first palette. But they had a very interesting premise to their brand, and they've been kind of expanding the things that they're selling. So like started with little eyeshadow palettes, and now they've got like highlighters, and they're doing complete collections, and they're Game Beauty, and their whole thing is about the gaming industry. So if you like to play video games, aren't into all that, they theme, you know, anime type stuff, they seem to kind of theme it towards that. And then they're doing something here that I don't think I've seen them do before, and that is lashes. So we've got some lashes here, and it just says here, our new Falsy collection is coming to our store this Friday. Stay tuned, lovelies. There really isn't anything else, so I don't see any prices or anything, but I love lashes. I just got some when I did the Artitude Halloween box. No, the last Artitude release. They had a beautiful half lashes, so I bought a couple of pairs of those. I've been really on the hunt for half lashes, and when I've been trying different brands, sometimes if they have them on sale, I'll try some of their lashes, and I do quite like the Artitude ones. I'm gonna go into this the dry vermouth shade here. So yeah, so I thought it's just nice to see brands kind of branching out a little bit. I mean, looking at the photo here, I'm assuming that there's difference. It looks to be that there's different styles, and it also looks like they've got a lash glue that they're releasing as well. So, I mean, for if it's not in stores, for a release like that is probably a little rough, because I don't know how many people just go and order a whole bunch of lashes. But if you were looking for something from Game Beauty, you know, like going in for their release and throwing something else into the cart, then it'd probably be worth it. Unless you're really looking for lashes and you want to buy, if they are having 10 styles here, because there's a photo of 10 different ones and a lash glue, well then maybe you can stock up. So I don't know if you've ever tried Game Beauty. Like I said, I have their first release, and it's very green. I think that's why I really liked it. It had come really past at the time. I like the quality. The shimmers were nice again, but they're more everyday shimmers, and this is a few years ago now, so I want to probably say at least 3 years, maybe even 4. Has it been that long? It feels like it's been at least 3 years. They've come out with quite a few palettes. I've just got caught in so many other brands that I just never got to buying some more, though they do have some other palettes, and that last collection that they put out looked really good. Looks like they had some quads and, like I said, highlighters, and the highlighters looked beautiful. So I think that's why I was really tempted with, was their highlighters, because they had some fun colors. So yeah, at some point, again, when I'm up for more buying, I will probably at some point maybe buy something from them again, because I do like them. So yeah, so that was the Game Beauty and their new lashes, and it looks like to be a lash glue. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade Garnish next. So next up for releases here. Okay, so now this is an influencer that I used to follow a lot. I was even on her YouTube, member of her YouTube channel for a while. It's not that I don't like her anymore. She's a lovely person. I think her content has changed a little bit. She was originally from Sweden. She moved to the US, so of course you'll know that's Angelica Nyquist. And I used to watch her more when she was, I liked her, for some reason I liked it better when she was in Sweden, maybe because dealing more with more indie brands that were out in Europe. Now she does a lot of stuff. The last little while was like Sephora and a lot of other brands. I guess, well, same thing too. I guess she gets easier access to it, like things like ColourPop and whoever else, and the smaller indie brands who may not have sent to her to Europe, but now that she's in the US, it's cheaper. But I don't know, something about her channel changed enough that it wasn't as interesting to me. So I haven't been watching her for, I think probably since late last year, early this year. But when she said she was going to start a brand, everybody got really excited. She really loves color and she's good with color stories. But it was like, what is she going to release? Is she going to release, eyeshadow palettes? Because that seems to be her love. But no, she went and released brushes, which I think is really good. I would think out of all the brands she's tried, all the different formulas, she would definitely know what would go into making a good brush. Now I've got so many brushes that I love, and I've got some more coming that I got on a really deep discount. That I don't need any anymore, but when she released originally her eye brushes, I was pretty interested, and I do like her colors, and here I'll pop up the new ones here. So these ones seem to be more face brushes, and I liked the yellow with the black. I just thought it was really cool. So her brand is called Singe Beauty, and it says here, it's finally time. The new Singe Beauty collection launches on Friday, December 8th at noon CST. We're launching 7 face brushes, 2 new eye brushes, and our multitasking makeup sponge. Oh, there we go. And a velvet powder puff. Sets and bundles will be available. All items will also be sold individually. And then she says, because I think it's been out for a little while, she says the original 5 eye brushes will restock in early 2024. So they look really nice. I think when it comes to face brushes though, I always seem to use like a favorite bronzer brush or blush brush, highlighter brush until I kind of till they're not good anymore, and then I move on to something else. Or if they're too dirty and I've not washed them, then I'll move to another set. But I don't use face brushes as much as I do eye brushes. But and I think I have enough face brushes, but I think these look really nice, and I would definitely want to try her quality because, like I said, she's dealt with a lot of different brands and eyeshadows before. All right, so we're now going to go into the shade Classic. So I think that anybody who has that extensive use of makeup will definitely know a good brush, and I've heard, I think a few people that have been in my makeup group have bought them and say that they're really good. So I'm very curious. So maybe at some point I'd like to try some of her eye brushes. Then I don't know how much they are. It doesn't say what the new ones are. It's coming out on Friday, or at least when last I looked. So there could be prices up now, but I don't remember them being super sounding like that they were super expensive at all. So I think they're probably a decent price. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. yeah, again, mixed bag. Some of these things are just things that I, kind of piqued my attention. So I thought I would take a look to see what is out there. And yeah, quiet, which is great. So I'm just going to go back into that original darker shade there just to do the bottom lash line. Okay, so this one's fun. Here, I'll just right away pop up the packaging there. Look how beautiful that is. It's very Alice in Wonderland, mythical creature garden kind of look. This is, it says here, this is from Mika Beauty Shop. And this is another brand that's, I believe from Europe. And I've been wanting to try them as well. They seem to have some really, really, really nice palettes out there. But there's definitely a brand that I've kind of have in the back of my brain as a brand that I'd like to try. We're going to go into the shade Gin for some shimmer. And also, let's take a look at this. So it just here, I know you've been waiting for so long, but today it's finally time to reveal our new palette, and this is the Earth Wizards. It's our very first palette without shade names. That's cool. I don't know why, but this time I wanted a full matte black cover for the interior of the palette. It features 15 pan eyeshadows, 10 mattes, and 5 multichromes. We're coming with swatches soon. It says launching on December 15th at 6 p.m. CET in pre-order. Pre-orders can take, as always, 1 month to 1 month and 2 weeks. Please read the information and follow our Instagram for all our updates. And the price is €55. So that could be maybe a reason why I have not picked up anything, because €55 is mighty pricey for a palette. Once you put it into Canadian, you pay the shipping and you take the chance that you possibly have to pay a duty. So you could be looking, so that palette, €55. It's definitely at least at around $100, $90 to $100. Then you've got to add the shipping. So you could be looking at $140, $150 palette. So that's a lot. But here's the color story here, and then you can see why I like it. It is a very grungy. Now, I looked at a few comments that a few people have made, and it was, funnily enough, that was the first thing I noticed, and it was the first comment that I read, funnily enough, that I read, and it was saying, oh, words are hard, how the 2 blue shades and the two purple shades, so it's the top 2, and then on the bottom row, the 2, looked the same. They look like the purple one is slightly warmer than the other, and the blues one is slightly brighter and the other one is slightly darker. They do look really similar, but without seeing swatches, don't know, but they could possibly look pretty close on the eye. So if you're paying that much money for a palette, I don't know if I would want anything that close in duplication to shades, but I just thought it looked like a really nice palette. And I like the idea of that black background, because then you can just focus on the color that your eye isn't taken away from, right? Like sometimes, depending on how the pans are laid out and the colors, sometimes the background can take away from it, and other times the background accentuates it. So if the background is making it look like, matching what's going on inside, that can be kind of cool too. But yeah, okay, I'm just going to quickly put in an inner corner before working on my face. I'm going to use the shade that is on the rocks. So it's just a light green there, and then we can do our face. So, but it is really, really pretty. I also like how there's mattes on the top row, mattes on the bottom row, and then in the center is all the multi-chrome shades. So speaking of multi-chromes, there's another conversation that I've been seeing bandied about too, that it kind of seems like multi-chromes seem to be, I don't know, what people use to try to make more money or make the buck, or, that's the selling feature. And I'm kind of thinking that, you know, sometimes in a way too, it's like, why is it such a thing for multichromes? Why is everybody always so excited? Why is this the thing? I mean, most of the time, using the e.l.f. It's their kind of version of the Hydro Grip, but they call it the Power Grip with niacinamide. Yeah, that everybody's gotten so crazy for multichromes that, I mean, even, you know, some brands at Sephora are doing that as well. So, and then they can vary in price, which will lead me to another new release in a second. But they can so vary from something that is semi-affordable, and I think that's generally the more affordable ones are the shades that are kind of like the tried and true, the blues to greens, the pink to gold. You know, I think if you buy a lot of multichromes, you'll notice the 2 or 3 shades that seems to be every brand always has, and then you're like, oh well, I've already got that, you know. But anyways, let's quickly go back to Micka's Beauty Shop. And maybe they're in Paris, France, because that's what the thing says here, the little description. But anyways, this cover looked really, really good. It looked really, really pretty. Like I said, the color story, except for those 2 shades being kind of similar, I'd have to wait till swatches. This looks really nice, but I don't like the price either. But there we go. When you're a smaller brand too, I don't know how much their buying volume is. We're going to go on to this one, and this is a collab, and it's from a person that I follow on Instagram, and then it's a collab with a brand that I really like. That's a Canadian brand, and their prices have always been pretty good, and I do have 2 of their palettes, and then I have some of their singles. And there's a brand that I've been wanting to buy more of, but again, there's just so much out there. It's so hard to keep up, and it costs a fortune, and there's only so much you can stick on your face. So again, this thing about multichromes, I think I've got to the point where I have the colors that I want, I have what I want. How much more do I need? I know I keep saying that, and then I, end up spending more money. I think we all do if we're into makeup, but they're shiny. Who doesn't like shiny, right? But okay, so this release is by Shine by SD and Glam Sminty, and it is the Forest Hues and Mystic Dreams, and so it's a collab. I don't know where Glam Sminty's from. I have to look into that. I haven't been following her for long, however. This already released on Sunday the 3rd, so last week. And it's 12 shadows that's going to be available. Bundles or singles, and I believe that you can also get the packaging as well. But let's look at some of the photos that I have here. Which one should we start off here? So the first one that I have there here is with the cover and the packaging, and then you can see really the pretty packaging. It's of course in greens, which I like, and it has a beautiful spring kind of hues in there, which is a little bit, I guess, different for this time of year, I suppose. And then here's a close-up of the palette. This looks super, super nice. It looks shiny and just eye-catching. It just looks really, really nice. And I always love a good collab. It's nice when makeup brands are, do collabs with people that I don't know, influence them, but give them ideas for makeup and vice versa. So it's super nice. So I was really excited about this. So it was a little bit kind of slow in the sneaking and the peeking and, showing a couple of colors. So I'll kind of do the same here. So here's a set of 3 colors that's from the palette. And then as I talk, I'll scroll through and show some other ones, and then you can kind of see how really pretty they are. And I was just like, oh my gosh, these look so nice. They got those cute little imprints, like the stars on there. I was like, ooh, these are so pretty. They've got great names like Ethos, what's this one here? Intangible, Fluorescence, like just beautiful names. It looks a lot of fun. These colors are gorgeous. And then here's some swatches, and you can see how beautiful they are. And I was like, ooh, this is really nice. Maybe I'd want to get a couple of those. I mean, look at that blue in that swatch there. Did I get another set of swatches? Oh yeah. And then here's one with the pinkier shades, like so nice. And then I saw the pricing. Yikes. So generally, again, on the subject of multi-chromes and how expensive things can be with the brand, some of the prices that they have by Shine by SD are decent prices. Like I've bought some, shimmery single shades from them that weren't in the, $25-$30 range. I mean, looked at sales or whatever, but wow, can the price of some of these things be like absolutely insane. Like for one like some of them, if you buy 2 shadows, you can buy a full palette somewhere else. Buy 4, you can buy like a Natasha Denona palette. Like, it's insane how expensive they are. Now, again, I know small labels, prices, depending on how much of the raw materials that you can afford to buy at one time, the availability of it, on and on and on, how things can be, ooh, that's a lot of powder, how expensive things are. But so here, let me get the pricing here for you because I almost fell out of my chair. So singles are $25 Canadian or $18.50 US. A bundle of 6 is $110 US, $150 Canadian. A bundle of 12 with a palette is $230 USD, $312 Canadian. And the empty palette itself is $11 US or $15 Canadian. I mean, if you use the code GLAMSMITTY, that saves you 10%, but it's an affiliated code. But I was just like, because when you look at it as a full palette, you're like, ooh, yeah, that's a gorgeous palette. Like, that's a palette that I want to own. No, not at $312. No, wait. I don't even know if would that get you free shipping? But yeah, no, that is way too much. It doesn't matter how beautiful these things are. That is way too much money. Like, holy Hannah. I mean, okay, granted, if you don't have any multi-chromes or you only have 1 or 2, you don't spend a lot of money on makeup, and this is the perfect color story for you, and you're never going to buy any other ones again. Okay, maybe if you want to spend that much, I'll bite. Yeah, so I thought that was insane, but it is so pretty. I mean, when you look at that, and then here's a picture showing the cover, and then all the swatches together. Like, I mean, that is a beautiful collection, beautifully colors chosen, packaging, the whole theme is stunning. But man, like, I couldn't. Yeah, that's like a lot of money to come out at one time. Well, this is going to be a slightly negative release thing. Oh my gosh. Don't mean to be, because they are beautiful. Like, if I had money to throw it into the ether for a $300 palette, I would do it because it is beautiful. But it is super nice, I have to say. But there we go with that. And I think I only have basically one more release. I can already put down my bangs a little bit here. I need a haircut again and a hair color. It just goes so, it doesn't take long at all before I need a new hair color. It's crazy. Last up, we've got, so this one is also seeming to gear up not controversy, but when I saw it on Trend Mood, I was like, oh, I love their liner of this. And I had some samples of their mascara and I really enjoyed it. And right away, all the comments, this is the last one was a terrible mascara. It's the worst mascara ever. Why are they always just releasing the same thing over and over again? It's just a mascara. And it's like, okay. I'm kind of excited about it. But this is from Too Faced. So this, here, let me just put some glasses really quickly on here. So this is a new mascara, a new addition to the Better Than Sex mascara line. Their Better Than Sex black eyeliner is one of my favorites after the Amaterasu liner. Yeah, so it's from Too Faced, and it says it volumizes, lengthens, and curls, it conditions a mascara that delivers 100% sexy lashes with a 98% naturally derived formula, formulated with bamboo fibers and I think it's supposed to be Goy Berry blend. The hourglass shaped brush separates and coats each lash with intense black formula, cruelty-free, and $30. So yeah, for mascara, that's expensive. So I think generally as a whole, I'm just going to stick to my Essence or my e.l.f. Mascara. But I don't know. I really like a good mascara. But if you can get one like at a drugstore price, I mean, there's no point paying $30. But like I said, I'll pay $30 for their liner, no problem. So I don't know. I think I would want to try it out. I mean, everybody likes different things. There's so many things that people love that I absolutely hate. Like, maybe it's different skin, different whatever, right? And I happen to like the last Better Than Sex mascara. Maybe other people didn't like it. That's okay. They don't have to. We don't all have to like the same things or approve of the same thing. I don't buy a lot from Too Faced. Their powder products I've liked highlighters, bronzers. They used to make my favorite powder foundation that they don't anymore. And then they kind of re-released it in a different formula that's not the same. So there was no point in me going back to that. So like I said, I don't buy a lot from them. But I do really like mascara, which I didn't bring one. So, all right, we're almost done anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't really need the, I can put the mascara on after, but I do need a little lip color though, because look at that, looking a little ghostly there. Anyway, so yeah, it's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And again, $30 for mascara is a lot. But if the formula is worth it, especially when you're like me and you have almost no lashes what to speak of, then, maybe $30 is worth the cost. If anybody has tried any of those eyelash serums that have worked, now I found a pencil I was looking for. That have worked really well, let me know, because the only one I've ever tried is one from e.l.f. and then I tried a natural one from Pecans. Nothing helped my sparse lashes, but there you go. So anyways, we've got a quick makeup look on, and we went through the small assortment of new releases, and like I said, a bit of a mix. Played with our glam light, and yeah, there we go. That's our video for this week. So if you like this video, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends. We can still talk about new releases while I spackle my face. All right, behave, make good choices, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.